King Boom. Dirty Moors still attempt to infiltrate the order. Active Moors are truth, then take it to the corners. Across highways, past hedges and through borders. Move on dirty Moors like broken dam waters. Watch out for agents and provocateurs, trying to get next to their heads with the doctor's cures. They never pay dues and don't pay dues, contradicting with King Alfred to give clues like news. Noble Drew Ali died from Palemore blues. Prophet saved him his money before the floor fell through, and that's true. Even though I don't have proof, selling memory tells me don't fall for spooks. Drop mental nukes, hanging from their own vine from the fig tree, looking up at them like Big B. No white flag or mercy for you fags. 5-point and pentagram is on our flag. Green, but not for cream. That dirty Moors took to throw off the balance of the Grand Treasury books, getting offers like high school ballers. Those that infiltrate are not Moors but robbers, robbing the people blind, deaf, dumb and crippled. They can't tear this up, not one drop or trickle. No matter how hard they try to perpetrate the fraud, dirty Moors always fall on their sword.
The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know Drew Ali started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know Drew Ali started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know Drew Ali started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know Drew Ali started dropping it.
Me nah play with no so simmer and easy. From 19 how long, me see it's sleazy. So sick, it's measly and disgusting. Everyone stood there. The Moors did nothing when Drew was attacked. They took the covenant that they will protect him and have his back. Behind on dues by 4 months, going to kangaroo courts to perform stunts. Temples versus temples, lawsuits from inner fights. Not doing their job, 3,500 for birthright. Mufti Force left the post to be in Gucci stores with God. I thank Allah for the Sufi Moors and Buddhist Nagas. Moorish mic renaissance, not rap sagas. Confusion clearer, MC battle scar wearer. Moorish nationality declarer. Straighten out the crooked ways, rap conduct squarer.
The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know Drew Ali started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know Drew Ali started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know Drew Ali started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know Drew Ali started dropping it.
Let me strip them down, I'm the bone bearer. Negro, black, colored, minority, death preparer. Not the being, but the label attached. See me like Martin, going crazy, waving gats. Cause you call yourself black, that's a kick me sign on your life. Can't stab your enemy holding the blade of the knife. Numbskull MCs flow so dull that I'm pulling down Orishas like skull caps to torture the rapper, scissor sippers. Rapper, CD scratcher, insert ripper. Call me Jack and get slapped though. Admiral when I flow, major like macro. Don't spit on a cameraman like Pac will, but beat the case like Black Bill but no lawyer. Ask Jim Carrey, liar, liars do nothing for you while they get rich and pour you. Make you follow magistrate orders that get the coke to snort from wood corners and blocks ghetto. All I see is rappers, dress codes, repedo, tight shirts, skinny jeans looking like heavy metal bands. I'm not Bey but L like Gred and Hands. I grab mics, no sweat in hands, with birthright brands. I don't worry about getting scanned.
The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know Drew Ali started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know Drew Ali started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know Drew Ali started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know Drew Ali started dropping it.
What up?
Alright, I'm gonna take just a second to set up and get situated. So I'm gonna play one more song while we do that, so just bear with me. Alright. All right. We're gonna start class now. Anybody? Hey, Roz, you have a Quran? Anybody got a silver Quran? I need to just print that so I can not have to do this again. Oh, no, I mean a Circle 7 Quran. That's all right. Oh, boy. All righty. Well, let me see. I don't have my Quran, and no one else has their Quran, so let me see if I can get let me see what I can do. Mikhail, do you have a Quran on you? Quran on you? No. All righty. All right. Well, we usually Islam. We usually begin the class by reading chapter 25 of the Holy Quran, divinely prepared by Prophet Noble Drew. However, I forgot mine in my other bag, trying to. Yes, I am. Why? Breaking news. All right, so let's do the breaking news while I go and see if I can. Are you in? Did you press 1? Well, you. Did I press 1? No. You did press 1. I did. Let me just go the old-fashioned way. Starting for you, man. All right, here we go. You're mentioning it. You're in now. I mentioned it. I don't know. All right, wait. Let me just mute myself so we don't have to see. What am I muting? That's right, everyone. It's happening to my website. All right, much better. I'm not even a talk. I hear you.
No, I'm going to speak to the speaker.
All right.
Islam again. First teacher is who? Mother. So, I'm not bringing this up just because. It's not what the class is about, but we're going to go to the class. But I'm just a little bothered, and I guess it's intended to be a little bothered. I'm really sick and tired of our people putting down women as soon as they begin to stand up. All right? It's not cool at all. But what the good part of it is go ahead and do so you can expose yourself as to who you are in these great and dreadful days and times. Sister Carew, you've listened to her, correct? Correct? Share her information for the past two or three shows. Yeah. There is a son, I hear his name was Ali Muhammad, who has already went over the net and started talking trash about how filthy she is and how no good she is. And all kinds of things. You know, it is he who has showed who he is. Am I right or wrong? And there should be no son that lives and breathes on this earth that should support that type of activity. And there should be no person that lives and breathes on this earth that should not be able to see in these days and times that isn't clear. Let's slice the head off of mother. Expose yourself. They already said we are the fault, RVBey publications, for the death of a sister named Corinne Gaines. Oh, excuse you on that, right? because of information being shared. So as soon as the sisters start to stand sisters, know who your first enemy might be. It's your damn son. It's your damn son that you established and created. That's the truth. And until you realize that, because you, as above, so below, established that relationship, as above, so below. And read the book of John. The image of you that possess the arrogance, as above, so it be below on earth. So it's all good that it's being exposed now, so that we can see with our eyes what we have to do, which is to continue to love our sons and our daughters and take your place, sisters, and stand the hell up. You cannot take the place in your family until you recognize what is going on. And your complacentness and passivity on it is the damn problem. You think someone's going to raise the nation and it's not going to be you? Really? Is that what you really think when every child that goes into society comes from your womb? Something's wrong with you, you believe that. I don't care who's talking to you. So don't let it bother you. Where's my sister? Don't cry. Don't let it bother you, sister. You hear me? You have seen firsthand what can be done. There's people who will talk about you before you got on the floor. Because in their minds, they don't believe in mother. Don't care what comes out of their mouth. Their actions. You ever heard, I can't hear what you're saying because your actions are talking too loud? So it doesn't matter what someone says, it's what they do in these cases. Only been up 3 times. We all have issues. Mind yours. Find your table and tend to it. Find your table and tend to it, be a son or daughter. Don't tend to other people's. This is what our problem is. Do you hear that? Is that terrible or what? But in these days and times, it's good that that happens. Because everyone should be able to see what the problem is in this family of Moors. Everyone. And sisters, until you wake up and take your place and give the spanking when you need to, it isn't going to change. It isn't going to change. It's not. And they know it. That's why they keep pushing their foot on your neck. The shallow grave is yours. But the stuff that people do today ain't shallow. These people exposing their heads now, they're getting cut off with that sword. And they're getting buried in the grave that they dug for you. So they're getting buried in the grave that they dug for you today. Do you understand? How's it go? The grave you dig for me shall be the one you fall in. Right? Open up your eyes and see this. But sisters, again we say, mothers, if you're really looking to see the nation, take its place and the people that you put into the universe, that you built Solomon's temple in your womb, you did it. You were the great architect and still are that builds the soul of man's temple, which is their body, in your womb, and you act like you don't know what's up or what that means until you wake up and take the place. They'll always put their foot on your neck and try to bury you. But it's always a shallow grave because you can't bury mother. If and when she awakens, she just stands up out of the shallow grave. This is all coded, but it's real. So the nation shall only rise as high as the women. And they say that, and they've always said that even in the nation of Islam. A nation shall never rise any higher than its women. So why are you putting down women when they try to rise? Show yourself. Expose yourself. Because the scimitar is coming back on the pendulum swing. And whoever had it didn't get when it swung this way, it's going to get it on the way back. In the story, thanks for showing us who you really are. Yes, I said that with passion. Is passion supposed to be bad? No, you're supposed to put a circle on your passions. And I just did as best I could. And I said it, I think, decently. All right, when you want to talk about something bad about it, it's nothing bad. Put a circle around your passions, square up your conduct. Emotions are energy in motion. Nothing's really wrong with it. They say it's bad, but it's only bad if you have no direction. Then it's bad, because everything is a cause and effect, polarity. Everything. Are you finished what you're doing, Annie, here, or you? Okay. So I know that to those who are listening on the air across the nation, I may just sound very passionate, as they call it, because I just found that out in the instant that we kind of came in to begin the class, and it just, and it just, it's right there, and it just sort of was annoying to that end, you know, that really, don't cry, mother. Don't dry your eyes. You created tears in the first place. Dry your eyes. Or use them to drown who needs to be. One of the two, right? That's terrible. Are y'all twins? Wait a minute. Oh, I apologize. Y'all do look alike. Y'all don't look like twins, but you do look alike. How you doing? It's peace and love. What's your astrology sign? Order, discipline. That's why you're trying to find all classes you can about law, order, and governing principles. Virgo. Make up your mind. Stop changing. Stop thinking of all these excuses why you aren't going to do something, and then you miss the bus trying to catch the bus because you can't decide which one to catch. That's what you do. What are you, bro? Oh, this is your age of time information. All right, let me know when you're ready. Aquarius, if you look at the wheel, is the water bearer pouring water where? Where's the water being poured to? I'm talking about on the wheel. Into woo-hoo. Pisces is the beginning and end. That's Sophia, the mother. So the water of Aquarius is being poured into the womb of humanity, correct? Well, of course it's going to be rebirth. It's going to be new birth. And it's not like, it's like every time a woman is pregnant, when her water swells, when enough water is poured and swells, she gives birth. Symbology, man must learn by signs and symbols. Right. So water represents what? Life. And knowledge. And the first waters that you're in is in the waters of your mother's womb, right? So that's where the knowledge is supposed to be, sisters. That's where you're baptized originally. That's why they used, that for baptismal symbology. Right there. So the waters of Aquarius, which is the age of information, because the waters indicate information, is being poured into the womb of the mother. Can't stop the flow, you know. And once it swells, Pisces will give birth, and where's that going? Next sign. There you go. And what does Aries represent? New birth, the child. Wow. That's where we are right now. You see it now? So much to learn on that wheel. What you see on that wheel is based on what you know, right? That's where we are. So we're in the age of Aquarius. So if you're Aquarian, you know, and the polarity is Leo, you create. Because you can't create unless you know anyway, right? Right. And if you know, you ought to be creating, right? So this is where we are. So that Aquarian information is being poured to the womb life, mom, to bring out this new birth. You said, well, when is it going to happen? Really? Close your eyes, and you could be in another dimension. Because it's just a lesson of the order of things. If you would take that understanding and put it in your own life, it happens in your time. You understand what I'm saying? And when everybody gets to that place where they all know the same thing, it is done. That's why Prophet Noble Geraldi said, I have given you enough to save the whole nation. Well, how about this? Just go save yourself. Because if you know how to save yourself, and you know how to save yourself, and you know how to save yourself, and then we start counting, everybody's on the same wavelength, right? This is real talk. real talk, right? For real. He didn't tell you to go save everybody. Everybody wants to get together to go save everybody. No, save yourself, and you already did save somebody. Now, what is the mindset? The mindset is generations and generations and generations of people who look for other people to do things for them. Generations and generations of putting people under a microscope and judging them when you yourself least be judged yet. You haven't even been judged yet. We are in a limit, a box. We can't go with this high and don't even know it. And we want to judge other people. And then we have all these great things, oh, don't let it bother you. You know, just go ahead and do. No, just the hell with that. Put this stuff in its correct order. Because you're the only one, it's the family structure that can do it. There's no one else that's going to ever do it except for what comes out of the home. Through the mother, father, if he exists. He ain't nothing but another son. Polarity. True story. So what do you have? Generations of displaced people. Mothers who are mad at fathers. Sons who hate mothers. Mothers who then hate sons. And they're taking advantage of it. The family division is already been put in place. In the 60s, mama couldn't have a man in the house, correct? Right? Then, later on, after generations of that, daughter couldn't have mama in the house. Y'all remember that? They needed someone in the family services, so-called services. They're not your family. That's number one. Why are they talking about family services when they're not your family? Government means family. Nationhood means family. They are not your family. What's wrong with you? Don't recognize yourself? So, the daughters couldn't be in the house with the mothers. We'll give you food stamps. We'll give you an apartment. We'll give you whatever. But mama can't be around. So now you got generations of daughters who don't know yet because nothing got passed down to them from their mother. So now you got a destruction of family in that respect. Then you had, let's make the fathers look real bad in front of their sons. Because you, mother, are going to agree that we're going to put him in jail for not paying you for milk when you had a breast to feed them. In nature. And naturally, that's not how the thing goes down. Universal law takes care of everyone's debt to society, if you want to call it that. You do something wrong, it will be taken care of. What I need to do is move out of the way so that the avenging angels or angles of light energy, when they come to get you for what you just did, I'm not in the way to get hit too. Now that I can agree with. Because that's the revenge people who want to get revenge on someone. Step your behind out the way. Because it goes quick in these days. So now you got the son who sees the father who got picked up on any given Friday for not paying child support for electronic funds and stuff that ain't really money. So now this son is created from that generation. Right? Who says, I'm not going to be like my daddy. I'm going to make sure I pay child support. Right? None of it is their business. And so now sisters don't mind reporting their own sons. But what they should be doing is talking to the sister who's raising the son to marry another sister on how to take care of family. And look out for family because really that's what they're wired for. So now let me take you to where we are now with this bull, this reality, this reality crap that women and mothers is her fault. I say it every time, and even when we say it's her fault, some still don't know what to do. Like, did you see what I just said? She screwed it up, y'all say? She got to fix it. I fall right here, I can't get up over there. I need to get up myself. So sisters have to wake up. Because you were the first school teachers of all of the babies, whether they're male, female, or whatever in between. Period. So now what happens is, what are we looking at now? We are looking at the results of now that the son's going to be in line. I'm not going to be like my dad who got picked up and given Friday on the paddy wagon truck for not paying child support, when the real support is moral and mental. We have lost our minds, all right? Lost our minds. So what did they do this day? And I am really bothered by it, and I trust that it'll get fixed. No problem, son. I'll tell you what we're going to do. You know, we messed it up, right? We messed up your mama when we said daddy couldn't be in the house back in the 60s. Then we messed up your sister and those who will be potential wives to the son and husband, because husband means house binder. Let's get it straight. The most important thing is the home. And we messed them up because we pulled mother away from them, so they don't know jack about nothing, about keeping home. Can't even talk about no old wives' tale. I ain't heard none. They ain't heard none. They don't know nothing. Right? So, then what we did is, since that happened, now the daughters will feel lost because they don't have a soldier or a husband or a male in their house because they can't. They hate the son. And so they're against them. And they feel lonely, and they feel missing something, and so they're going to report to a foreign entity, the son, because they didn't bring child support today. What? Right? So down a few generations. So she hates him. What goes around comes around. Now he hates you. He hates you. Because you're not a mother. Mothers don't allow anything to infiltrate their family like that. Mothers don't allow the importance of a dollar bill, if that's what it was, because there's a whole lot of psychology that could go down. Mothers who know, don't say I can't eat if I don't have this dollar bill, this phony money. Mothers don't do that. Not mothers. He hates you, too. So, let's take advantage of that. Today, right now, today, we're going to give him the food stamp. We're going to give him the apartment. And we're going to let him take your baby. You didn't take it. He did. Your son is disgusting. Disgusting. And he comes up with, it's, topical stuff with my mama, she's working right, she's on drugs, and my daddy, whatever. We could go back and tell all the stories that do not really apply to our reality and what is necessary for us to bind our families back. None of that is all that was all put in front of you. Now, they don't get you stuff. That's just not quite enough. Not only are we going to give you food stamps and an apartment, and you can talk shit about your mama all day long, and how she's such a horrible mother, but you ain't got no place to feed the baby, and only a short period of time they shall come up with it, especially if it's a daughter, because they after the mothers. They after the mothers. Get the mother, you got the son. Trust and believe it. In a matter of time, we're going to have to take the daughter from you. Because, she needs a different type of whatever. You can't teach her to be a woman. You understand me? Some are getting tricked and fooled. And they already know that they're right for taking their own mama's daughter, their own daughter, the child from a mother. A child from a mother. Oh, what about the fact that she's on drugs? Does she have a sister? Does she have a mama? Does she have somebody in the community? We need to fix that. Well, they don't take the baby like that because you took them. They made you think you took them, and they're supporting you, and they're going to take the child back from you in a couple of years, but you can't take that anyway. Because when you do try to raise the child, and your father can't raise the child, it's stressful. a different type of stress. And they're going to come up with a reason why they're going to take the child because you agreed with them in the first place to take food stamps in the apartment in order to take the child. You agreed to take the child. And what did you say? You gave them for it? Oh, you even gave up some money to the mama to take the child. That's called human trafficking. So if somebody witnessed you do that, they witness, and it is ledger that you just participated in human trafficking. You understand me? So that's what's happening now. And it's not good enough he just took the child, or they used him to take the child. And he might, you got some people, sons or daughters, so messed up, that, oh, hell, they're going to make that a living. They think that the women did, being on welfare, but hell, they owe you tribute. You're the most valuable thing on the damn planet is the woman. Anything on here is a tribute to you, really. So you took a food stamp or whatever like that or whatever, so what? They owe you anyway. But then you're going to tell my son that you're going to skip over me and pay him so he can take my baby from me? No, I don't think so. It is time for it to be over. But you participated in it without knowledge or without seeing what was coming down the line because this is a strategic plan. So it's not enough that he's now going to, this is the new trend. The new trend. But they're going to go after her for child support. Oh, my God. You got to be kidding me. You have got to be. Who are these people that saying that your family saying this stuff? What? Where is the room left for you helping your brethren or your sister? Where is the room left for family? If I can't give you anything without expecting something back. Can't happen. It is reciprocity, but it's not equal like I gave you this, you got to give something equal back. If we can't do that, we're done. We're over. Just that thought right there. And we can't do reciprocity with each other or some sort I can give you and you don't have to pay me back on the full and the count and you don't have it or whatever because we all got different qualities about ourselves. Mine ain't equal to yours, yours ain't equal to mine, so don't even try it. So now, understanding who we are is necessity. Then once you know who you are and you understand these energies, will you respect and accept yourself for what you have done and need to do? Is the next question. So, I just had to share that. Are you ready with whatever you're doing now? And last night, how many people listen to these? And let me tell you something. You can smell culprits. You can smell them dirty culprits. And one thing I despise is people who act like they care about mother and really they working with people who are dividing the family behind your back. That's okay. Sometimes it's good to know where people are so you know where they are. Like, I know where they are. They're right over there about 90 degrees or whatever like that. Keep them that way. Keep them at those angles of mathematics for opposition or this is where we go back into the science, we go back into astrology. You need to know who you are so that you can understand what you reflect back to other people. I don't care what you think you're reflecting. This is what you are reflecting. And you should recognize it. Because other people recognize it who can read energy because that's all we are energy. So if you're here and energy manifests in the flesh for a reason, you should be really graceful about it and thankful for it because grace does mean form. You are in grace right now. Why you're here is your thing to figure out. But it damn sure ain't here to judge me. And it ain't here to judge somebody else. Because judgment belongs not to you. Neither does revenge. Period. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. So why are you sitting there? Oh, yeah, I'm going to get this person back. Sit your over there. Where's your table? Matter of fact, didn't it say, he makes me lie down in green pastures, which is this earth, and he prepares a table for me? Where the hell's your table? Do you know what your table is? Because apparently if you're minding mine, you ain't minding yours. If you're minding hers, you ain't minding yours. Find your table that's been prepared and stop looking for stuff that's not meant for you. Oh, I don't know what I like. I just know what I don't like. No, there's a table prepared for you. And everything you like is on it. So fake relationships, trying to force people to be the way you ideally want them to be without reading their chart to know who they really are and thinking that they're going to be what it is that I want them to be. You know, the table prepared for you has everything on it that you like. You'll know it when you get there. And nobody else is going to be on the same page. They ain't going to be sitting at the same chair. They ain't even going to be sitting at the same table. And they damn sure ain't going to be walking on the same path. Because it's yours. It's lonely, but it's yours. And it's narrow. Because it ain't a lot of people want it. So that just gets why. It don't feel lonely. It's a lonely road, but you got to go down it. And when you go down it, that's when you will meet up with those that are in the same direction and not before. So don't try to get that before, the crack before the horse. You do it all the time. Just go down the road that's next to you. And you'll find those people that are in your same direction. And then you have to move the you already said it. He said, look, all in the same direction. Well, and let's lead this into our conversation today. I hope nobody gets uncomfortable because we need to know we are not corporations. We need to recognize who is. We need to recognize why we can't go to corporations for remedy of any kind, right? If you're all in the same direction, it means you're not in opposite directions. It means you're not dealing with people who say, I'm going to save the nation, and they can't even, as an organization, let's say even NAACP, I'm sorry, that's right, I said it because I can prove it, being a charter that can't own land or property. How the hell are you going to help the people? They ain't owned by no damn Jesuit. See, this is what I mean. We don't get it. The land can't be bought, sold, or transferred. The land can't be bought, sold, or transferred. The land can't be bought, sold, or transferred. All of that is fiction. Oh, you mean that's all it is? Well, they reestablished it. It was the Niagara movement. Niagara movement is the original name. It's a fact. In 1909, they started back up as the NAACP. You're right. All right, I thought you meant the land. I thought you meant the land was owned by the Jesuits. No, it's not. Nobody owns it. It's an ancestral state. It can't be bought or transferred. So look into what we're doing, do the history on it, and you know, we really already just, you kind of went through this last night, but then we found something that was of great interest because there's a dividing factor as people, as the hordes of Moorish rise today. They all look to go to a temple thinking that's where they're going to become a Moor. We do not put down temples. We come from the temple. We got it. But we also know that they have decided themselves, no, they have been infiltrated. But whether they have or have not, the point is the prophet himself said, yo, come and hear the truth about your nationality and birthright. It already exists. You have to know you're a Moor before you enter because many of them have been infiltrated and a whole bunch of them are what? Corporations. Let's talk about it.
Well, I don't know. Should we talk about that, or should I continue on what you started?
You know what?
Next week, and we can edit that clip
and take a look at it. Right. So let's do this.
I can do the other
Follow
thing
the dictates of the soul.
It's in harmony with what you was talking about in terms of.
Go for it. So tell the people this. Always follow the dictates of your soul. So, yeah, that's a good idea that because we just found it. Mm-hmm.
All right. What we was going to, I was in a bit of a quandary because I wanted to talk about mastering the mind. Somewhat, because that's a very broad, well, it's actually not a very broad subject, but it does take some exercise and it takes some discipline, of which we have none. Let's just be clear. Let's not be hiding our heads in the sand like we're an ostrich, because that means your tail is exposed. All right, so we need to take our heads out from the sand and recognize that we have no discipline, none whatsoever. None. And we've been mentally conditioned for that. And what did Prophet Noble Ali come to teach us? What did he come? Why? Anybody know why Papa Noble Jelly came? Yeah, but it's much more important than that. Much more important than that. Much more important than that. Much more. It's what kicks everything off. What we're going through today. What are we going through today? Mental slavery. We're all going through mental slavery. Prophet Noble Charlie came to free us from our mental enslavement. And, well, I meant to staple these on the way up here, but between eating and trying to get stuff situated for this class and trying to log in and just, all sorts of things, I did not staple them. So this is chapter 1 of the Holy Quran. The chapter 1 tells everything. How many have read chapter 1 of the Quran? How many? Well, we're going to read it together today because it ties in with what is going on today. We talk about nationality, birthright, law. All of these are slow walks back to what is really the driver of everything, which is your mind. It's everything. How many people have excellent lives? How many people have nothing in their life that they would like to change? You all have nothing in your life that y'all would like to change. I know that was not a trick question. That's right. How many people live in a beautiful home, have unlimited access to anything your heart can desire, and can go wherever you want to go, whenever you want to go, and just have beautiful, loving people around you all the time? Have beautiful mates, beautiful friends, beautiful children, beautiful family. Well, the only reason we don't have that is because of the media and some friends, family, and where you direct your mind. Can you pass this out? Wherever you direct your focus, that's where your power is going to be. All right, that's where I heard that ass kicking up here. All right, I heard the ass kicking up here. All right, does everybody have a copy? Do I need to staple a couple more? Everybody have one? Oh, I wasn't giving that out. This is mine. All right now. Come on now. You know. That's for next week's class. All right. Now, I talk about the focus of the mind and mind control. I've spoken on it a few times before briefly. I've even done an exercise, which we are going to do tonight. Simple. You don't have to exert yourself, work up a sweat or nothing. But we're all going to participate in this exercise. And I'm thinking that we're going to do it now. How much, do you know how to control the lights? Yeah, I want to dim them. Now, everybody, I want you to get comfortable. I'm going to give you the cue to dim them. I want you to get comfortable, unloosen your clothes and everything. You know, get comfortable. If you're hot, I want you to be just comfortably warm. I don't want you to be too hot. I don't want you to be too cold. If your shoes are tight, take them off, all right? And I want you to just get relaxed. And I want you you can dim them now. And everyone at home, I want you to do the same. Take your time. well, not too much time, but get comfortable. I want you to, if you put the papers down, I want you to lean back, shake off, and just get real relaxed. Did you turn? Are you figuring it out? Oh, there it goes. That's it. Turn it down some more. Down. More. Well, it's flickering. Down. Down. Nope. Down. Nope. that's, oh, well, wait. A little more. Down a little more. Down just a little more. All right. That's good. Let's down a little more. That's good. That's good. That's good. I hope you didn't blow a fuse. All right. All right. Just a tad more. Just a tad more. I want it to be like, 60s groovy kind of mood. I'm so dating myself. Can you turn it down just a little more? No? If not, we'll work with this. Okay, 8:34. All right, so I want you all to close your eyes. I want you to lean back and close your eyes. If you got glasses on, take your glasses off, rest it to the side, close your eyes, and I want you to breathe in to the count of 8. And breathe out to the count of 8. If you can't do 8, bring it down to maybe 7 or 6. And breathe in again. And breathe out. Close your eyes. And breathe in. And breathe out. Now I want you to blank your mind of all thoughts for 1 minute. Absolute silence, please. All righty. Now, I want you all to, you can turn the lights up now. Thank you. All right. I want you all to tell me how many of you were able to maintain a blank mind with no pictures, no thoughts, no words, nothing coming through. How many? No one. It was hard. It was a bit of a challenge, right? Yeah. That's how much control we all have of our mind. 0. If your mind is blank for at least 1 minute, you have 0 control of your mind. If you cannot control your mind, you can't manifest what you want. Everybody is controlling your mind but you. Want me to give you a clue? Another clue? How many people have ever been in a relationship? What kind of music you listen to? What kind of music you listen to? If you're listening to music that talks about breaking up, I can guarantee you, within a year, your relationship broke up. Right? Now, let me ask you something. How many people listened to, when I was growing up, we had, I love you, guys, sitting on the floor, taking off their shoes, crying, and they love it. You don't have that today. I know I'm probably dating myself, but you don't have that today. Today, the music is so rough and vulgar and absolutely void of love. And even if they speak of love, it has a negative connotation attached to it. Like, I love you, but. That's not love. There is no but with love. You either got it, you're giving it, or you ain't. There's no condition. That's not love. If there are conditions, that's not love. I love you if you got a car. That's not love. I love you if you got some Federal Reserve notes. That's not love. I love you if you take care of me for the rest of my life. That's not love. My earpiece is about to go out because I didn't charge it up. So let me just switch my earpieces before it goes out. All right. So most of us, we have crappy relationships, even our relationships with our children. All right? How is that possible? Especially when we bring them here. How is that possible? Because we allow other people to tell us what we can and cannot do. We allow complete strangers to tell us what a family unit is. All right? We allow complete strangers who don't even have children tell us what we should and should not be doing with our own children. And I'm saying allow, because if you understand that a corporation cannot in any way, shape, or form dictate the action of a human being, you understand that you got to be allowing that. And I know we had a discussion about this. Last night while I was with myself. I think it was last night or the night before. And one of the things she said was, and I've had this epiphany myself. Oh my God, our people don't know how to read or write. Let's be real. Many of us don't. We don't know how to read or write. Right, exactly. I mean, but I'm saying we got to be real about this. You can't be ego-driven. You cannot, lie to yourself. You can't sit there and say, I don't know what she's talking about. Most of us do not know how to read or write. All right? Most of us don't even know what words really mean because we haven't looked them up in a dictionary. So a lot of times we're talking and we're cursing ourselves and we don't even know it. All right? That's real. And let me just say this. You're never going to be able to fix that unless you admit the reality of it. This is not about ego. This is not about I'm better than you or you're better than me. We're all suffering under this. If you are of copper complexion, if you're one of those copper tone people found here by the modern Europeans, they mentally conditioned you to know nothing. And that's why they can take advantage of you so well. So well. But this information about your nationality, your birthright, law, it is a precursor to what you really are. You are mine. Everything that you are experiencing, good, bad, and different, you manifested it. I know this is a bitter pill, very huge bitter pill for the majority of people to realize, to accept. But you have to accept it because that's the universal principle. I'm going to tell you a way to test it. Think of something simple, really simple, like think of somebody you haven't seen for a while. And every day, for at least 15 minutes, think about that person. Every day for a minimum of 21 days. I guarantee you, before the 21 days come, that person will call you or you will hear from them somehow, some way. You manifested that because we as a being, and one of the most basic elements we all have in common is that we're all energy. Energy just is. Energy can't be taken away, can't be added to. It just is. That's why our challenge is to raise up from where we are. Our challenge is not to be bogged down by this human body that the only reason we have it is because we mentally manifested it so we can be in this three-dimensional plane and have a human, what is called a human experience. You can't have a human experience without a human body. So the only reason we're here is to have this experience. The only experiences we're here to have is to learn and to grow and trust and believe. You would not be here if you didn't have a lesson to learn. And you are not going to check out of here and move on until all checks have been cashed out and the balance is zero, meaning everything that you are here to learn, you must learn it before you can move on. That means that if you got a problem with somebody, you got to fix it. And trust, you better fix it before you leave this particular incarnation, because if you don't, you'll be coming back to meet right back with that energy until it is fixed. And some of you may be sitting here thinking, oh, I can't stand so-and-so. Well, guess what? You better figure out a way to love so-and-so, because that person that you hate today will have power over you tomorrow in your next life that you will be forced to deal with. And if you didn't like it now, I don't think you're going to like it the next time around. So, swallow it and fix it. That's what it's about. Nobody is here to have a good time. The only reason you're here is to experience certain lessons so that you can grow. People are mad at their mother. And isn't this crazy? Because a lot of people think that they came from their father, but they're mad at their mother for bringing them here. That's twisted. But they say stupid crap, like, I didn't answer you here. Yes, you did. In fact, we're so amazing that we put so many things in place prior to incarnating, coming through that womb to experience it is amazing. Like, I'm not here today by accident. I planned this. I planned it long before I came here. Is that amazing? I've had a few relationships, and I thank God, thank myself, because I know who God is. I thank God that I woke up and I mended those relationships, good, bad, and indifferent, because I don't want to meet them back. I read about incarnation, reincarnation. I read about it. I read about forgiveness, too. And forgiveness is not for the other person. It is for you. If you have anger or negative feelings towards somebody else, the law of the universe says that you are not projecting that to somebody else. You are manifesting that in your world. This is an amazing being that we all are. We have no clue how amazing it is. We have zero clue just how powerful you are. Even though you got movies like Star Wars that came and told you how powerful you are. You got movies like Star Trek that tells you how powerful you are. The Matrix, Avatar. You are powerful people. How many people have ever studied out-of-body experience, astral projection? How many people have not heard of it? Not heard of out-of-body experience, astral projection, the astral plane? In the Matrix, they were telling you about the astral plane. Where did you think they were going when they plugged in? It was sort of kind of like in reverse. They were going to the dream state when they plugged in. That's why when they were there, they could what? Manifest anything. This is the dream state, but because of mental conditioning, we've been taught that this is the real world. And it's not. It's not. And you know how I can tell you? How many people, there's a movie. Let me see if I can remember it. Oh, my God. Stir of Echo. You ever saw the movie Stir of Echo? Go watch it. And the movie Stir, I think it's called Stir of Echo, is with Kevin Bacon. Thank you. Stir of Echo. Him and his wife, they invite some people over the house, and they're chilling, you know, having conversations. And one of the women there has gone through this hypnosis class, so she's now a certified hypnotist, right? And so she says, I can hypnotize anybody, and she's telling about the wonderful things that she can do as a hypnotist. So the Kevin Bacon's character says, no way the hell you can hypnotize me. I'm immune to all that. I got all this control. You know, I mean, this is what he's implying. Girl, you can't hypnotize me. You ain't got that kind of power. So she says, okay, so you want me to demonstrate? And ego, what does he say? Ego-driven, he says, come on with it, girl, because you ain't got that kind of power. She hypnotized him lickety-split. Lickety-split, all right? Now, while he was hypnotized, she said to him, I'm going to stick a pin, a needle, through the thumb, between the thumb and the pointer finger of your hand, and you're going to bleed on only one side. But you're not going to feel anything. And she proceeds to do that, and he bleeds on one side only. What does that tell you? All an illusion. That this is all a manifestation of the mind. That if I can just tap into that subconscious mind, I can manifest anything. Anything. These modern Europeans don't want you to tap into that. That's why they bombard you with this crap they call music. Black music. Black music. That crap is on a whole different frequency. And it is mentally programming you for nothing but negativity. Same thing with the TV. Some of these movies, they're all right. They are. But how many of you realize you're being programmed every single time you look at that TV? How many people know this? How many people have this so-called new technology that's been in theaters for how many years called the big screen TV? How many people got one sitting at 45 angles on their wall? How many? Come on. With surround sound. Puts you right in the middle of the movie. That's maximized hypnosis. Maximized hypnosis. How many people have studied the way the mind functions? Only me? I'm just one of those people. I get the universe directs me to books. I read them and I remember. I read a book a couple of years ago called The Brain Book. And it talks about how the mind of man does not think in anything but color. Do you believe it? Or am I just tripping? Want me to demonstrate it? All right, I want you to close your eyes. Once again, breathe in, take a deep breath. And tell me what you see when I say red rose. Red rose. All right, open your mind. Open your eyes and tell me, what did you see? You saw a red rose? A red rose? You saw a red rose? Wait a minute. You didn't see, wait a minute. What? You didn't see RED, ROSE? Was it in color? Or was it in black?
But this is what I'm talking. The mind only sees in color. That's why they made it available for people to get a color TV in their home. Every home across North America has a color TV. And then they studied the mind a little more, and they found out that if you put the TV at a 45-degree angle, you will cause the people to look up, thereby, even though they are not aware of it, you are being programmed because the mind is programmed when you're looking up at a 45-degree angle. They showed you that in the conspiracy theory. And that's why stuff always pops off at the theater, right? They have the premiere, like what is it? Batman. Two times Batman premiere, 12:01 a.m. That's science. 12:01 a.m. at a theater, big screen TV, 45-degree angle. There's subliminal messages all over the place. How many people pay attention to commercials? I don't watch TV. I don't have cable. I got rid of it because it's a waste of finance to me. And I rather watch a movie that I'm interested in rather than be subjected to somebody's programming, because there's a reason they call it programming, right? All right, so how many people, when you go home, watch a commercial, because every commercial is dealing in, subliminal programming. Years ago, I want to say Macy's, it might have been another department store, they were playing music, and behind the music there were subliminal messages, and it was causing the people to buy things they didn't consider buying when they left the house. I know. And so they supposedly wrote a law that said you can't do that no more. And so now you go to the store and there is no music being played over your head. Well, then if they are still doing that, then chances are there's some subliminal messages in there. Well, here's an obvious place for subliminal messages: the TV. The TV, the cartoons, is a subliminal message all the time. How many people have sat down, you just had supper, you are full, very contented, you watch the TV for about 30 minutes, you get relaxed, right? Your body gets heavy, right? Your eyes close down a little bit. You be right on the verge of falling asleep, right? And then a Burger King commercial comes on. And all of a sudden you're hungry. Want some French fries. You can smell the French fries. And there's no Burger King around you. That's a subliminal programming. That's subliminal programming. Or a Dairy Queen commercial comes on, and all of a sudden you have a craving for a pistachio mint nut ice cream. And you wasn't thinking of ice cream at all. It could be 3 below zero, and you were freezing, but you got a craving for ice cream. That's a subliminal programming. Pay attention to these commercials, because now the commercials, they flash things at you. They're programming the people all the time, because if you gain control of your mind, you will not be living in poverty. You will not have horrible relationships. You will have wonderful relationships with your children. You will live in abundance. You will lack for nothing if you can gain control of your mind. But in order for you to gain control of your mind, you got to put the ego down, because the ego will never allow you to gain control of your mind. Part of that subliminal programming that is built in to the subliminal messages that modern Europeans are constantly bombarding us with is, don't listen to that little voice to the left, much like the Wizard of Oz. Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. The man behind the curtain is your true self. And isn't the man behind the curtain? Couldn't he do anything? Right? The man behind the curtain could do anything. But the voice said, pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. Right. So now, what does all of this have to do with chapter 1 of the Holy Quran, Circle 7? Let me read a little bit of it to you. Time never was when man was not. That means that your energy. We talked about that, right? If life of man at any time began, time would come when it would end. Who are they talking about with that one? The thought of Allah cannot be circumscribed. No finite mind can comprehend things infinite. All finite things are subject unto change. All finite things will cease to be, because there was a time when they were not. The bodies and the souls of men are finite things, and they will change. Yea, from the finite point of view, the time will come when they will be no more. But man himself is not the body nor the soul. He is a spirit and a part of Allah. Creative faith gave to man, to spirit man, a soul that he might function on the plane of soul. Gave him a body of flesh that he might function on the plane of things made manifest. Why did creative faith give to spirit man a soul that he might function on the plane of soul? Did creative faith give to soul a body of the flesh that he might function on the plane of things that are made manifest? Didn't I already explain that? Right? So you can have the necessary experiences you need to have to learn your lessons. Hear now, ye world, dominion, powers, and thrones. Who do you think they're talking to? Hear now, ye cherubim, ye seraphim, ye angels, and ye men. Hear now, O protoplasm, and earth, and plant, and beast. Hear now, ye creepy things of earth, ye fish that swim, ye birds that fly. Hear now, ye winds that blow, ye thunders, and ye lightnings of the sky. Hear now, ye spirits of the fire, of water, earth, and air. Hear now, O everything that is, or was, or evermore will be, for wisdom speaks from out of the highest plane of spirit life. Man is a thought of Allah. Man is a thought of Allah. All thoughts of Allah are infinite. They are not measured up by time. For things that are concerned with time begin and end. The thoughts of Allah are the everlasting of the past unto the never-ending days to come, and so is man, the spirit man. But man, like every other thought of Allah, was but a seed that held within itself the potencies of Allah, just as the seed of any plant of earth holds deep within itself the attributes of every part of that special plant. So spirit man, as seed of Allah, held deep within himself the attributes of every part of God. Now, seed are perfect, yea, as perfect as the source from which they come. But they are not unfolded into life made manifest. The child is as perfect as the mother is. So man, the seed, must be deep planted in a soil that he might grow, unfold, as does the bud unfolds to the shoulder flower. The human seed that came forth from the heart of Allah was full, ordained to be the Lord of plane of soul and of the plane of things made manifest. So Allah, the husbandman of everything that is, threw forth this human seed into the soil of soul. It grew apace, and man became a living soul, and he became the Lord of all the kingdom of the soul. Hark now, that every creature here, the plane of soul is but the ether of the spirit plane vibrating not so fast. And in the slower rhythm of this plane, the essences of life are manifest. The perfumes and the odors, the true sensations, and the all of love are manifest. And these soul attributes become a body beautiful. A multitude of lessons man must learn upon the plane of soul, and here he tarries many ages until his lessons are all learned. Upon the boundaries of the plane of soul, the ether began to vibrate slower still, and then the essence took on a final God, the perfume and the odors, and the true sensations and the all of love were clothed in flesh, and man was clothed in flesh. Perfected man must pass through all the ways of life, and so a carnal nature was full manifest, a nature that sprang forth from fleshly things. Without a foe, a soldier never knows his strength, and thought must be developed by the exercise of strength. And so this carnal nature soon became a foe that man must fight, that he might be the strength of Allah made manifest. Let every living thing stand still and hear. Man is the Lord of all the plane of manifest, of protoplasm, of mineral, of plant, of beast, but he gave up his birthright just to gratify his lowest self. But man will regain his lost estate, his heritage. But he must do it in a conflict that cannot be told in words. Yea, he must suffer trials and temptations manifold. But let him know that cherubim and seraphim that rule the stations of the sun and spirit of the mighty Allah will rule the solar stars, are his protectors and his guide, and they will lead to victory. Man will be fully saved, redeemed, perfected by the things he suffered on the plane of flesh and on the plane of soul. When man has conquered carnal things, his garb of flesh will then have served its purpose well, and it will fall, will be no more. Then he will stand untrammeled on the plane of soul where he must full complete his victory. Unnumbered foes will stand before man upon the plane of soul. These he must overcome, yea, overcome them, every one. Thus hope will ever be his beacon. There is no failure for the human soul, for Allah is leading on and victory is sure. Man cannot die. The spirit man is one with Allah, And while Allah lives, man cannot die. When man has conquered every foe upon the plane of soul, the seed will have full opened out, will have unfolded in the holy breath. The garb of soul will then have served its purpose well, and man will need it nevermore, and it will pass and be no more, and man will then attain unto the blessedness of perfectness and be at one with Allah. This is telling our story. This is telling what we're here to do. And this is also telling you that victory is assured. It's already a done deal. If you read the prophecies and statements, Prophet Noble Drew said it don't matter what it looks like today. In the end, it's all going to be in the hands of the Moor. So we have the beginning and we have the end. Everything in between is really, in my opinion, insignificant, because the end has already been written. The question that we need to ask ourselves is, are we ready to take up and learn our lessons? Or are we going to continue to allow someone else to dictate our lives to us? Because the lesson here is the same for everyone. All of these things, you know, people say, but you don't know the details of my life. You don't know what I'm going through. I don't need to know what you went through, baby. Because whatever you went through, if it was unpleasant, tells me you ain't learned your lesson about manifesting the beauty that you are. It doesn't matter. I know it sounds like I'm trivializing somebody's experience, but, you know, sometimes we focus way too much on the drama that we're going through today, as opposed to focusing on where we want to be now. Like, how many people don't have a car but would love to have a car? Exactly. Because the car is simply a manifestation of your mind. That it's not even real. We're standing on this, what is this, third floor of a building that really doesn't exist except in our minds. We're sitting on chairs that really ain't there except in our minds. I'm speaking in this room that sounds like it's amplified. It's all a fiction of my mind. And we all keep it going every second of every day because we don't take the time to discipline our minds. And we allow everyone and their mamas and their uncles and their fathers and their cousins to discipline our minds for us. And then we wonder, why is my world so terrible? It takes discipline. It takes everyday discipline. Because you're not going to get this message today and overnight, you know, oh, you got complete control of your mind. The prophet said you ain't get into this overnight. You ain't going to get out of it overnight. He's so right, because it takes at least 21 days minimum to form a new habit. And we have to first form the habit of studying for 15 minutes every day. And once we do that, then we can start to build our world. So we first have to build the habit of disciplining the mind. And all of this studying of the history, of the law, of the principles, of the science, this is a science. You think these modern Europeans don't know this? They know this. That's why they say, look, let me just, I'm not throwing, as they call it, shade at any of these so-called entertainers, all right? That's all caught up in the drama and fiction of the media. I'm not throwing shade at them. But can anybody tell me one that has a loving, peaceful, and harmonious life? There's a saying that if you don't already have it in you, you can't get it. For example, if you don't have love in you, you can't give love. Many of us don't have love in us. Many of us operate on self-hate. Many of us operate on self-hate. And you can tell because we do things that are destructive to us. Nobody is twisting your arm. We do things that are destructive to us, whether it's, you're chasing down man after man after man or woman after woman after woman. And excess speaks of self-destruction. I'm sorry to say, but if you're a smoker, a lot of people that chain smokers, the people smoke one after another, that's excess. It speaks of self-hate. If you're a drinker, self-hate. If you are engaging in any sort of substance, so-called substance abuse, it really is substance abuse if it is tearing you down. Cannabis is not a foreign substance, but taken excessively, it tears you down. When in my family, the use of cannabis was used as a medicinal, and it was also used as a way to expand the mind. So if you wanted to, what's the word I'm looking for? Delve into the unconscious mind and bring back information or have conversation about what you brought back, you might engage in cannabis. So when I hear that people are smoking cannabis like it is a cigarette and chain smoking, and it's the first thing they're taking when they wake up in the morning until they pass out at night, that's excess. That's not what our ancestors did. It's not. We didn't engage in excess. What we did was about helping us to expand and break out of these self-imposed molds we find ourselves in. So if you have people that you know or hang out with, take a look at them, because they will tell you exactly who they are. And that's not for you to judge them. It's just for you to be aware of what you are surrounding yourself with, because they say birds of a feather flock together, right? And a lot of times it's true. Now, I might hang out with somebody who's an excessive smoker. It doesn't mean I'm an excessive smoker as they are, but it does say that if we hang out up, like there's something in us that is alike enough to attract us, because the universal principle says like attracts like. Now, I can tell you from my own experience, when I started to change my diet, because I used to be a closet smoker, believe it or not. I call it closet smoker because a pack of cigarettes could last me a whole week. I couldn't smoke 2 cigarettes back to back to save my life. My body would not allow it. So I smoked a cigarette a day. About. Some days I would go, sometimes I would smoke half a cigarette. But nonetheless, I smoked. And then one day, my spirit said, okay, it's time to let it go. And I let it go. And then I was never a drinker, but I could drink 2 glasses of RVBey yellow, and I'm good. But 3, I would be bent over being carried out. I have no tolerance for alcohol. None whatsoever. But, you know, I might have an occasional glass of wine, but that's it. I don't have the tolerance for nothing else. And I like red wine because I know red wine comes from red grapes and not foreign. I mean, not domestic, imported. Or hopefully it's imported. You never know these days. But back when I was growing up, we used to pick grapes and make our own wine. But today, you can't find a grape to pick nowhere. But anyway, I decided that it was just one day I decided that, you know what, I want to test myself. So I changed my diet. I stopped my closet smoking, got rid of the drinking. You know, if I went out to the club with my girlfriend, because my girlfriend worked so hard, and if she called me up out of the blue and said she wanted to go out, I would go because she might fall asleep behind the wheel. So I went to make sure she got home. But while I was there, I was drinking bottles of water. And it was an experience because I was checking out everybody. Because I wasn't dancing. I was able to watch everybody all dancing in unison like robots. And I was like, wow. I wasn't high, but I was like, wow, look at that. You know, you think that when you're not participating. How many people have ever gone to one of those 3D movies? I have people that they ask me to take them. I have clients, I take them, and they go to 3D movies. But I don't wear those 3D glasses, right? Because I feel like, first of all, the movie is programming. Those movies, 45-degree angle, is programming me. 3D glasses is doing some other kind of programming that I ain't aware of yet, so I ain't messing with it. But if you go into movie theaters and you don't have one of those glasses and you watch everybody else, you see everybody moving like robots in unison. Like, wow, look at this programming. Like, they can all be programmed to turn to the left and stab each other dead, and they would do it because they think that they're watching something make-believe and don't even know it. I was like, wow, look at this. Look now, people, you know what? I'm getting a little bit off track, but let me tell you, people talking about, oh, yeah, they got the, what do they call them? The virtual reality? Virtual reality. It's new technology? Is it new technology? Because I remember them talking about that in a movie called Disclosure years ago. Years ago, right? This is not even new. I remember them talking I'm really dating myself. They talked about this in a movie called, I think it was called Brainstorm, years ago with Christopher Walken, back when he first started acting. He's an old man now. Brainstorm, and their prototype was this huge helmet with things sticking on it, and they streamlined it down to this little thing that you put on your ears. Long time ago, I want to say maybe somebody Google Brainstorm and tell me what year that movie came out, and you'll find out this is not new technology, right? Right? Let me tell you some not new technology everybody is flipping about. Phone, earpiece, tablet, Star Trek. 1983 Brainstorm, right? Well, let me really trip you out. Star Trek. Uhura had a earpiece. How many people watch Star Trek? I'm a Trekkie. Uhura, the sister, one of the only sisters in Star Trek. Communication technician, right? She had a Bluetooth, right? Yes. Captain Kirk flipped over. Flip on, right? Right? McCoy, tablet. Let me check your vitals, right? 1968. When did all of this stuff become available to people? They was talking about it on Star Trek, 1968. This ain't even new technology, but you got people losing their minds over an iPhone, tablet, or whatever. iPhone, iTablet, whatever. Oh, I got this iPhone, I got this iTablet. Captain Kirk, McCoy, and Uhura had all that shit back in 1968. It's not new technology. You can go back farther to Atlantis and you find out that the stuff we call the new technology today is primitive. Primitive. So primitive we look ridiculous because that's our ancestors. We are the ancestors return and we tripping over primitive stuff. Primitive. Exactly. But it's all about controlling the mind, right? It's chapter 1 of the Holy Quran. People read it and move on. Miss it. This chapter 1 tells you everything. Why are you here? Chapter 1. Learn lessons. Are you here by accident? No, because you planned it, right? Now, can you sit back passively and do nothing? No, because a soldier never knows his strength without a foe. So everybody's trying to dodge the lesson. Dodge the lesson. Please, give me a pass. Give me a pass. Hey, you got your name correction and confirmation. That's like, there you go. I got my pass. No, that's never going to happen. That's not this trip. Soldier never knows his foe without a challenge. You're challenged every single day. Every day. And it is to strengthen you that you have challenges so that you can know just how amazingly powerful you are. Because you forgot. Every last one of us, we forgot. Because if we didn't forget, we wouldn't be footing it all the time. We'd be rolling in a fancy car, jet, all over the place, getting hell. If we really knew, we wouldn't need a car or a jet. We would just like on a soundtrack, instantaneously teleport to where we want to be and then return. Star Trek, right? Teleport? Bewitched. Right? Snap my fingers. Woo! I'm there. Didn't like it? Snap my fingers. Back home. That's right. And look at this. Star Trek and Bewitched, was there any time? No time. I can go to the past and the future, or I can stay where I am, because there is no time. Exactly. The time is always now. It's always now. What you're experiencing today, you created yesterday, and what you'll experience tomorrow, you're creating right now. So the time is always now. There is no yesterday, and there is no tomorrow. If you reflect back, because see, man's business is about reflection. So if you reflect back, if you're in a situation today that you don't like, then you need to reflect back mentally and think about what did you mentally manifest that got you here. Because it wasn't the boogeyman. It didn't happen by accident. Now, modern Europeans may have a hold of your mind, but that's because you gave it to them. Take it back. Yes, we did. Because every night people go home and turn on the TV and get their dose of programming. If it ain't the TV, they turn on the so-called radio and listen to the so-called music and get your dose of programming. And then, if it ain't the music, you hanging around some so-called family and friends that's giving you your dose of programming. Well, absolutely. It's all about programming. Well, we have to recognize these things, and we have to one by one disconnect from what you can. Like family and friends, I'm going to tell you, when I started changing my diet, it is amazing how many people just faded out of my space. I didn't tell them to go. They just faded out. You know why? Because like attracts like. That's right. Like attracts like. They just, if you're with somebody and you're crazy about them today and they suddenly fade out, it's because there ain't enough like no more. Somebody was growing and they moved apart. And I know with me, I'm a woman, I'm a mother, and I've always been hungry for information. Hungry my whole life, hungry. Ate up every book I could get my hands on. Broke in and maxed out every credit card I've ever had in my life on books. All right? Amazon knows me very well. Very well. I got books everywhere. I got books on the bed, between the bed, and under the bed because I'm reading all the time. If I'm in the bathroom, on the job for 5 minutes, I am reading. And if I don't have a book, I have stuff on my phone to read. I'm always reading. I want to know everything. So, this, say that again? It's not, we already know everything. So, we got to go back to basics. We already know everything, but here's the thing. We don't know that we know everything. You don't know it, you know. But see, they say things like, there's nothing new under the sun, right? Nothing new under the sun. So why is it we think that we're going to learn something new when we already know everything? That's right. You was here for one of my classes, huh, when I wrote it on board. Yes, yes. Everybody, I'm not better than you. People be like, oh, the NE, you're so much. No, I'm not. Oh, you're so fat. No, I'm not. Oh, you know, yeah. The only difference between me and you is I've been reading probably maybe a little bit more than you. That's it. I've been reading, but let me tell you something. You need to start reading. You desperately need to start reading because your vocabulary is going to increase from reading. Your speech is going to repair itself from reading. And so if your language improves and your vocabulary increases, your writ will be like they used to be because you are the ancestors returned. And your writing must reflect that. So you have to read like never before. If you got children, you've got to get them to throw those damn electronic games in the trash. Light a bonfire and burn them all up. And start buying books and encourage the children to read because this is for the young and the yet unborn. And we have to prepare them with words and right speech and right language. And we might not be able to do that for us, although that's your choice, but we must do it for the children. We must do it. You cannot send your children to these institutions and expect them to give them what they need. You have to give them what they need at home. Stop following these modern Europeans who are giving their children these electronic games, because I'm telling you, their children go to private schools so that they can learn how to manage your children. So when they get home, they can play on electronic games because they got their lessons in the school. Our children ain't got nothing but distractions and babysitters. They're not getting anything in those institutions. It is the obligation and responsibility of mother to make sure that her child is getting what they need at home, whether she is there or not. It's not anybody else's obligation. You agreed to bring them in. You agreed to bring them in. You agreed to bring them in. Somebody else brought them in. You came here with them eggs in your womb, and one of them chose to manifest as one of those eggs, and you brought them in. You are obligated to give them all that they need so that they can hit the ground running at 5 to 7 years of age. It ain't the son's obligation, all right? That's called a mixed-up mind. Because these modern Europeans, they have us thinking that the family unit is mother, father, and child. There's no such thing on this planet as mother, father, child. It's mother and son. How do you know this? Look in the sky at night. What do you see? You see mother and son. That's it. That's all there is. There's nothing else. Now, because we don't have control of our minds, mothers and sons, these modern Europeans play us every single day. Every single day. Because part of the distraction, and I'm sorry if you can't see this, but I don't have a black magic marker. Part of the distraction is that they got everybody looking for their soulmate, right? I'm not knocking relationships, but if both of you, because this is not a one-sided thing, but if both of you are teachable and you are learning and growing, then maybe you can do that together, thank you, or maybe you can support each other as you do that, individually or together. But if you can't support each other and uplift each other, you ain't going to make it. And you ain't going to do nothing but tear each other down. And God forbid, in the midst of all of this, she gets pregnant. Because now that's going to be a challenge to work out. Because, see, people ain't even thinking of the children. See, when I had my children, I decided that it just ain't going to work between me and their father. And I like peace of mind more than I like having my bed warmed up before I get home. I like peace of mind. So I had to let it go. And yes, he was nasty. Yes, he was mean. He was angry. He was addictive. I ate it all. I ate it all for the sake of my children, because I'm not going to be combative with the father or the son that was in our lives. I'm not going to play that game. I'm not going to drag you through these Roman soldiers either. I'm not going to call them on you either, because we got into this without their business, and we're going to get out of it without their business. All right? So I'm not incompetent when it comes to handling my affairs, personal though they may be, and of an extremely personal relationship. It didn't work out, but we ain't got to, hate each other. I don't understand how you got into this relationship with this person and everybody was just, it was just roses and everything, and then all of a sudden you hate each other with such a passion that you want to kill each other somehow, some way, do some sort of injury to each other when a minute ago you couldn't be separated. That don't make no sense. That means that if you hate somebody that much but you chose them, something is wrong with you. Well, you know what? And let me tell you. Hold on a minute. Let me just color this in for the camera. There we go. Let me tell you, we don't even know how to do relationships. We don't have a relationship with ourselves. Many of us don't have a relationship with our parents, our mother, okay? Because I don't care what you say about the daddy, the son, everything is based on your relationship with your mother. Everything. All right? Now, I don't have the best relationship with my mother because of my mother, but my mother is an amazing woman. My mother did things back in 1960 that was unheard of. She was my role model. She was my inspiration. And she is what got me to where I am today, good, bad, or indifferent. I owe everything to my mother. Everything. We don't talk much today, but I owe everything to my mother. But my mother's an interesting woman. She got that Scorpio Capricorn energy just combating all the time. I'm a peaceful woman. I'm a Pisces moon and a Libra sun, and that's all I want is peace and love. So, I'm there for my mother, but I don't spend time trying to have a combative conversation with her because that's what she is into, but she's from that mindset. And she's past 88. So that mind, like they say in the Matrix, you can't free that mind. But you can love her nonetheless. And see, this is what we need to recognize. Some of you sons, y'all got some baby mama drama going on. Let it go. That's her baby. And she loved you or was chosen to be with you for a time. Appreciate her for that. Learn from that experience because you're not with her by accident or you wasn't with her by accident. There's a lesson for both of you to learn, but the only one that can learn that lesson is you, son, and her sister. You don't know what her lesson is, and she don't know what your lesson is. And the time you take attacking each other, you could have figured out what your lesson was. Why did you even come together? What brought you together? What did you learn from that interaction that can help you to grow spiritually? Rather than attacking each other, because that is a setup by the modern Europeans. Because if all of you is fighting and at each other's throat, you will never learn your lesson, which means you will never become the beautiful spiritual being you are, able to manifest a world of peace and love and harmony and abundance. You got people running around here calling themselves whatever Ali. If you have a title of Ali, it means that you already have manifested a world of abundance, peace, and love. Right? So if a Roman soldier can tap on your window, you ain't an Ali. You're not an Ali. Because why would you manifest that? I'm sorry, if I am an Ali, I will not, for nobody, be manifesting Roman soldier tapping on my window. As a matter of fact, he would be the last thing on my mind, in my consciousness, in my realm of manifestation. The last thing, the last thing. This is about you manifesting your world. And I'm looking out at some of y'all, and I know y'all are learning just like I am. The way to do it, set aside an hour every day. Try to make it the same time every day. I did this. If you have a room, darken the window. If the only room you have is your bedroom, darken those windows. That will be your room to go into for an hour every day and sit in complete darkness for an hour. It's going to be a challenge because all your thoughts are going to converge in on you. And you're going to want to turn that light on real quick. But you're going to have to learn to overcome it because that is how, in the Matrix it said, I can lead you to the door, but you must open it and walk through. I'm leading you to the door, but you must open it and walk through. You must open it. Can't nobody do it for you. So be whining and crying. Somebody please do it for me. There is nobody. Just you. Everybody calls, we get people calling in talking about, please save me from the Roman soldiers. I can't because you manifested them. I know it's a bitter pill, but you manifested them. And your lesson is to de-manifest them. That's your lesson. They would not have appeared if you didn't create them because man is mind, right? Everything that we experience every second of every day, we create it by what we focus on, whether somebody helps us focus on it or we individually focus on it. But we don't even individually focus on nothing because everything we focus on has been given to us by some sort of mental implant. So take that hour, same time, every day, and lie down someplace comfortably, whether it's not too comfortable. Don't lie on the bed because you'll fall asleep. Make a blanket or a pallet on the floor and lie down on the floor. And close your eyes and just listen to the sound of your breath. Now, some of you probably can't even hear your breath because you're so deaf to your inner voice. So what you're going to do is take some cotton and stick it into your ear so that you can hear your breath with your inner ear. And so you do that for at least 21 days. I guarantee you before you get to 21 days, you'll be able to hear your inner sound without that cotton ball. Now, after you do that for 21 days, then you do the next step is for another 21 days, pay attention to the thoughts that flitter through your mind all by themselves. These are thoughts that have been implanted into your mind that are working probably against you right now, but you don't know about it. So your job is not to push them out or pull them in, it's just to watch. Right, just to watch. See what is flittering through your mind that you're not even aware of. Like right now, you probably got multiple thoughts going on that you're not even aware of. How many people heard the siren going down the street? How many people heard the yelling in the room next door? All of these, you got, and probably you're thinking about what you're going to eat when you get home or the train that you're going to, the subway you're going to catch. And if you're going to catch it, are you going to catch it? Are you going to have a seat on and stuff like because your feet are hurting and you're tired? And you got 1,000 thoughts going on in your mind right now that you're probably not even aware of. You need to become aware of it because the next step is to, in your mind, roll them up into a ball and throw them in the trash. That's step 3. Step 4 is then to control, to create exactly what you want. But don't overdo it in one shot. Start small and grow. And that's manifestation of the mind. Islam. That's it. And that's all. Islam, right? That's planting the seed, watering it, and watching it grow. And they're plucking the fruit off and eating it. I ain't hear you yet.
That's planting the seed and letting it grow. And then how do you fertilize the seed? Because what is the seed? What is the seed that you plant? Can somebody tell me what the seed is that we all plant? Now, how about now? All right. What is the seed that we plant? What is it called? What is it called? What is the seed called for you? Because you know, like it's not like you got some seed that comes out of an orange or an apple. What's your seed? What is your seed? Thought. You said it too. Thought. The seed is thought. That's it. That's what she's talking about. Manifestation is from planting the seed. What is the fertilizer? Word. That's why you got to watch what you say, right?
Yes. Oh, let me just say one other thing. How many people know what the Holy Trinity is? They talk about it in the Bible. What? No.
Well, no, the Holy Trinity.
What is the Holy
triune
Trinity?
She's saying, what is it?
What is it? They talk about the Holy Trinity. It's talked about a lot in the Bible. Nope. You know, there's several Holy Trinities. There's not just one. But when it comes to manifestation, what is the Holy Trinity?
Thought, which is the seed. Word, which is the fertilizer.
And what else?
Word made.
What's the third? No. Nope. How many people have had a traumatic experience and you was bawling your behind off, and while you was bawling, you started thinking and you started speaking, and shortly thereafter, it showed up. It showed up, right? Now, I'm going to tell you, women, this is from a woman's perspective. It's a negative perspective, but it don't matter because negative, positive, it all works the same. You know, the sun shines on the just and the unjust alike. All right? So women do usually participate in this. Women, y'all are in a relationship, right? And somebody is yakking in your ear, got you thinking that your man is fooling around, right? He may not be. He ain't even thought about it. He's somewhere on the other side of town working his behind off. But somebody comes and yaks in your ear talking about what she saw that she didn't see, and you break down, and you're crying and bawling, and you're speaking. You're thinking and you're speaking, right? And he shows up. He comes home, and you present him with this thought, and he denies it. But you don't listen. And you do this for a certain amount of days, and what do you think is going to happen?
You're going to manifest it.
You're going to manifest exactly what you've been putting in motion. And all of a sudden, you meet a girl that you manifested, and she's going to walk away with her. And then everybody is surprised. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. I thought you were the perfect couple. They didn't know about them nightly crying spells you was casting, though, right? It's like,
you manifest your, I know that sounds crazy. Yeah, give her a hand.
yeah,
and then you're like, you don't know what to say because you already know intrinsically in you whatever the hell is going on. I know you brought it on. Let's sit down and talk about it, and we'll find exactly when and where you brought this to yourself. And when people will not accept the reflection of their own actions, be it from their thought, which manifests, that's why you got to be careful what you think, careful what you say. It manifests. However way it is, we can dig it out and find it. Maybe you really wanted to not be in the relationship, and that's why you did it. Well, whatever the reason is, you're standing before what you think is a monstrosity of event when it's something you created. All right, sis, deep down inside, you don't really want it. Do you really want to be with it? Do you really want to be there? No, not really. And I knew my mama told me, and I should have never done this, and I should. You know, I'm serious. But the truth is, it's fine because you really didn't want to. That's how off we are about our manifesting our own reality that we do it. So the seed is the thought. The word is the fertilizer of thought. Oh, if you write it down, that's the feeling of it. It is done. It is done.
Backed by emotion. Done deal. It will show up.
Yeah. Because some people say emotion is a bad word. Is that what you're telling me? Because they looked it up in the dictionary. Did you draw this? Yeah. You draw this? Yeah. Okay, I won't erase it. No, that's okay. That's okay. It's all right. Don't say okay. We're supposed to say all right, because okay means all kill. That's where it comes from, all kill. So that means that's a trinity. Everything is a trinity in nature. In nature. So you're talking trinity. There it is. It's you. We've done this so many times, but until people can really get it, not as really until they can get it, but it is what it is. Your trinity, mind, body, soul, my trinity, mind, body, soul, there it is. So if the seed is the thought, what are we creating on multiple levels? And the word is the third fertilizer. Because then you said something about the thought, brother.
Yeah.
And then you said word, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And then manifestation. Or manifestation, reality or whatever. That's it. So then you have belief. You believe stuff. That's on this. This is just another level. I believe it. So I have belief, because a belief is a precursor to now I know, right? Now I know, right? Belief, knowledge, knowing, right? So I have to have a belief is a precursor to knowing something, because when you no longer believe it and now you know it, you don't have belief anymore. You know. So then you have to have faith, right? What do you have faith in? What you know. Not what you believe, but what you know. So belief is a precursor to knowledge, and faith is a precursor to what? Manifestation. So that's why when this information that we share, that is actually truth and knowledge, if you study, it's not belief. When we give you a case law that says, that, as an example, I don't know, give me a case law, I don't know. I don't forgot more than I can remember. That's just proof that, corporations have no parity with real flesh and blood people. That's a fact. What does it mean if you don't know it? That means you could never be that. You could never exude that. You could never come with that light. You could never come with that energy because you don't have faith. You can't have faith in Jack until you have knowledge. You cannot have faith in what you believe. That doesn't make sense. Belief is a precursor until you find out what you know. Now you have faith in what you know, not what you believe. So this is why we say, look, you got to read it for yourself. Like somebody read it. Read it yourself. It means something different. It hits you different. So now you can have faith in what you know, not what you believe.
I believe that God already did.
I wouldn't even think about anything about cars coming close to me if I was traveling, because I wouldn't even want to bring any energy. Just strong. Everything is energy. Everything is energy. So you wouldn't even want to bring it close to you. So that's it. So belief is the precursor to knowing something. Once you know, you've graduated from belief to knowing. Now you have to have faith in what you know, and the faith is a precursor to manifesting. You're not manifesting what you don't know. You're not manifesting what you don't have faith in terms of knowledge. So it has to be knowledge. So, this is a whole other class to go into these symbols. Man must learn by finding symbols. It's a whole other class. And the reason we do this is that people get so prejudiced in symbols and say, oh, that's such and such religion. Oh, that means such and such religion. We need to clear that up. You know what I mean? We have to clear that up because they're all the same thing, talking the same story. It's really all about the Trinity of you. That's it, and that's all. It keeps repeating itself in different manners. People ritualize it differently or whatever. So I'm going to try your little thing there because I hardly ever get a chance to do anything.
I know.
Who gets a chance to, what about you? Ms. Rainey? Do you get a chance to sit in the dark for an hour and think like that? You used to?
I don't know among this, but I think it was in the How to Study book.
I can't hear you a little bit. Do you mind coming up? I know you don't want to, but come on. Bring your new camera from Mantis Views. Put people on the view. Okay, God. All right, I'll come to you. Mantis Views 29. Got your camera on your neck at all times. I got you.
No.
All right.
All I was trying to say was that, no, I haven't meditated in complete darkness like that unless I close my eyes.
Right.
And when I do that, images might come to me, you know
right.
what I mean? And I'll see things and I'll be like, wow, that's a beautiful design. But, I'm not really an artist like that, so
okay.
I might not be able to manifest it on spot.
Right.
But other times when I'm just in my zone, because to me, studying is also a form of meditation. To me, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or because you say meditation, but I'll say introspection.
Right.
Right? So I might just be reflecting or examining my own thoughts. You feel what I'm saying?
That's right.
Introspection. So I might get into that zone, but I'll have a light on behind me on behind my left shoulder.
Left shoulder, right.
Yeah, I was taught that's how you're supposed to do it.
Yeah.
You don't have too many lights on,
right.
but just have one on behind your left shoulder. You
right.
don't want it over behind your right shoulder. Just little, what they say, feng shui,
mm-hmm.
different sciences mm-hmm. and formulas to do things a certain way. That's all.
I'm looking at we have Maja Day in the house tonight. Please give her a hand. We haven't seen her in a while. Yes. Do you have anything to add to the feng shui of the meditation?
Well, I meditate every time I create.
All right, talk to us. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I meditate every time I create. I mean, I literally see things. I really do. And I don't know what he was saying about looking over the left shoulder.
Light over the left shoulder. It's going to be dark, have light on the left shoulder.
Oh, no, I just be seeing things coming over my shoulder. all the time. I just see images and things. A lot of times when I sleep, I wake up and I think of something to create, and I just get up and create it. And a lot of times when people come to my table, I set up outside sometimes on 125th, right around the corner. And it's like I manifested in my mind, and I created, and then someone will come up to me and say, I was just thinking about that. So it was their thoughts that I was receiving. So that happens to me on a regular. I don't know why, but it's okay. I embrace it, I accept it, and things like that. But that's about it.
Wonderful. Yeah. Now, you see that? You ever think about a friend that you haven't seen in a while, and then they show up? You're manifesting the reality. You're bringing that energy to you. Astral causation, exactly. Cause and effect. It's real. It's the time frame. Okay. All right, listen, we're here only 2 weeks. Now, we're back. We are back in the temple room. And then let me just tell you the challenges we're having here. We just got to where people got used to us being downstairs, outside of the, still part of the building, but the entrance is outside of the building. And now we're back up to the place where we used to be for, 10 years. And it feels good to be in here, but I'm sure without knowing how this, it's just a transition. So we're going to hang on to what we're doing, and we will be back here next week again. Back to back, we're here, and then after that it's etymology, which is with fourth week, which is with Abdullah, and then the first week of the month is with Sister Carew, of which we just love the information that she shares. We really do. I don't know why anybody has a problem with the sisters sharing, because I am at home listening or wherever I am, and her sincerity in what she's sharing comes across with such a soothing. Have you heard her class on the first Wednesday yet? No? All right. Listen to it. It's spiritual, divine spiritual health, natural medicines and natural. She's so good, and it comes across soothing, and anybody can listen because, first of all, let's face it, it's stuff you don't usually hear. Am I right? That's what captures you to listening to it. And then when you listen to it, it makes too much sense. What stuff? Yes. It's what the family needs. Right? Now, I do want to answer a question. Last week, I was listening. What was it for mucus you said to get mucus out? Was it OSHA root? Oh, oat straw is also another one? Because I went out and got the oat straw that I was supposed to mix with nettles. Now, the oat straw and nettles does, what was that? What was that for?
It's for nourishment.
I got you. The oat straw and nettles is for nourishment.
Yes, it's for nourishment. The nettles is like a multivitamin in itself.
Wow.
It's high in potassium without you losing potassium.
Potassium, I know what
You got me looking for that stuff.
Potassium comes out of bananas naturally.
Yes.
Potassium is a level in the blood that must exist sometimes before they say, well, we can't operate on you or we can't do whatever until your potassium level, and you can go and build in yourself. Not that we are suggesting going in the hospital, I'm just saying those potassium levels is something that's also in the blood.
Yes, ma'am. And the oat straw is good for getting rid of the mucus and throughout the whole body, as well as restoring the nervous system.
Oat straw. So last week you didn't say OSHA, you said oat straw.
I think I did say OSHA last
week.
That's another one? Is an expectorant for the lungs, so it helps you release the mucus out of the lungs. Specifically.
And is that a root, a tea?
It's a root.
So it's an OSHA root, and that's the one I need to go. How do we spell it? O-C-H-A or O-S-H-A?
O-S-H-A. It's kind of hard because it's not a native root.
All right.
Here.
All right.
Oat straw they both work differently, but oat straw is native here. Oat straw is the top part of the oatmeal plant.
Wow.
So you know how oatmeal warms you up? Like if any of us know when we eat oatmeal in the wintertime, how it just really warms you up and fills you up?
Yes.
Well, oat straw does that to the spirit. So it's really nourishing. It goes to wherever the body needs it to go. As well as it's native here, and it grew all throughout. If you look at the history of it, the way it traveled is the way we traveled.
Wow. All right. But now the OSHA, again, you said is not native here.
Right.
But I can find it. And I'm going to, and it removes mucus
from the lungs.
From the lungs, specifically from the lungs. Whereas oat straw removes mucus from all parts of the body. All right, y'all heard that? Did y'all know that? No, you did not know that. Give her a hand. Now, did you see how she answered that with all the right information on the spot? That's a knowledgeable person of whatever their interest is. Remember I told you earlier, find your table? Well, that's her table. And the thing is, if that's her table and her thing, it would be a travesty if she was not able to share and grow with that. Because that's her thing. That's what she wants to do. That doesn't mean that, someone else wouldn't do it or couldn't do it, but it just doesn't matter. That's her gift. That's her thing. That's what she has to offer the family at this time. It doesn't matter whether yesterday or the day before or last year she tripped and twisted her ankle and did something bad, good, or indifferent. Who cares? We're sharing information here that is coming straight from a knowledgeable person. There could be someone else that's as knowledgeable or even more knowledgeable. I don't know where they are, but we know that we're sharing what we got right now because it's about sharing the information. And the manner in which it comes across is extremely soothing. It's like instead of listening to the news, you can listen to that news information that needs to be downloaded into our system. Thank you for that sharing. And we are all going to be back here next Wednesday. Who's going to do the invocation? Oh, Brother Lawrence. All right. And, one more. Huh? Say it again. Huh? Oh, is anybody here for the first time? Oh, there are a couple of people here for the first time. Look at my Jade. It's been a while. I know. You have the giveaways for the first time. Raise your hand again if you're here for the first time. All right. Oh, great. Sisters first. Sisters first usually, but we got enough, so it's not like we don't have enough. Who else? First hand? Yes. All right. Anybody else? First time, I mean? All right. We're good. We're good. You haven't been here in a while, though, right? I haven't seen you. Okay, you look different or something. Maybe you should turn it. But then again, the problem with us is that we are only here not every Wednesday as we used to be, myself and Anita and or Ms. We're only here for the second and the third back-to-back, so it's like we haven't seen anybody in a while. That's what it's like. So we hope now that we're back in the temple, that we get back into the swing of things, because like I said, we just got used to being downstairs. We kind of liked it, but we realized that it had an acoustic situation where we had gotten all this fancy clip mic stuff that doesn't work. Now we know we should maybe put that back into act. Yes, and we'll bring it, and that way we have a microphone also for the audience to be heard as well over, because these classes are, of course, broadcast. How you doing? Good to see you. Broadcast four corners. All right? So we'll see you next week. Brother Lawrence you're going to, you'll be right back? Oh, you're coming this way. All right. Why did you come this way? You come the south way, man? Brother Lawrence been around a long time. You need the extra time. This is the in-house. All right. In-house, like you can use that right here next to you. Five on the left, two on the right. All right. Allah. Father of the universe. Father of love. Truth. Peace. Freedom. And justice. Allah is my protector. My guide. And my salvation. By night. And by day. Who is holy prophet. Noble to Ali. Sheikh Sharif.